Alright, Assalamualaikum everyone and good evening.
Assalamualaikum everyone.
Assalamualaikum everyone.
Assalamualaikum. Good evening.
All right, so welcome to our second live session, which is about the application of astronomy in the culture of Malaysia and also Bangladesh, which is also, I always say this, it's an interesting topic. Well, it is interesting tonight because we have our panelists from Bangladesh, Alif, Ruhan, and we're waiting for one more person. And we also, from Malaysia, we have Emma from Dark Sky Malaysia and also me, Shahira. I'm also from Dark Sky Malaysia, and we'll be talking about astronomy, which is applied in both culture. All right, so I would like to tell the audience to tell us where you're from and also share about your culture so we can also discuss here. We would like to hear out from all of you so that we can get some ideas because tonight is a discussion session, not only between us, but also with the audiences as well. So feel free to share, don't be shy. Right, so we are going to start with sharing about Malaysian's culture and also the implementation of astronomy in our culture. Okay, ready, Emma?
Alright. Alright, so before that we like to give some brief introduction on the astronomy and the culture part where you know every part of the world where you are it's not only in Malaysia or Bangladesh, even in Philippines, in Vietnam or Laos, China or Japan or Korea. Every country has their own cultural astronomy. I mean, like they have their culture towards astronomy and in how they perceived astronomy in their daily life, and their folklore, their star lore, their stories with and the view of the sky from each part of the world are different, so they have different perspective. Like we have if you go to New Zealand, you see, you know that they call the Milky Way is emu, a bird, a flying bird. Okay, so it's different from where you are in Japan or in yeah, from Japan they don't call it as a flying bird, you call it something else. I'm not mistaken, is something like dragon something, or in China you call it dragon something. So you got different country and they got different stories of, you know, how they perceive the how they are looking towards the sky. That's not only that, and how they use the sky as what they use, how they use in their daily life, like whether for cropping or whether for for direction or something else. So it's interesting that we can learn about other people's culture and how they use astronomy in their daily life. So yeah, so let's start with Malaysia.
Okay, give me a second. Oh, okay. So culture and astronomy in Malaysia. So we'll be dividing this topic into in celebrations, in religious practice, and also among indigenous people. And a little bit introduction to Malaysia. It is a Southeast Asia country, consists of the peninsula and Borneo. So you have East Malaysia and also West Malaysia, to put it simply.
So we have the
And
peninsula is a mainland, and we have another island. Island is shared with what two countries, one Indonesia and also one in Brunei.
all right, and Malaysia consists of multiracial people. Okay, we have colorful races in Malaysia. I can't really put I can't really say one by one because there are too many of them, but the major ones are Malay, Chinese, and Indians, and also variety of other ethnics, and not to mention Aboriginal people, or we call it indigenous people. So we are
Yeah, so
not
we have
just.
like more than hundred of ethnics in Malaysia. Yep.
Yes, indeed. And they also have their own cultural practices, which is very interesting to look into. And we are going to get into that later in the aspect of astronomical applications. Okay, so how does these races apply astronomy in celebrating festivities? So in Malaysia, we have a lot of festivities depending on the race and also the religion as well. So religion has their own celebrations as well as the races. So we have Chinese New Year for the Chinese people. We have Idul Fitri and Idul Adha for Muslim, which the Malays are Muslim because they are Muslims. Okay, the Malays are Muslims, and we have Chinese who are Buddhists. Okay, so they celebrate Wesak, and Indians uh, they usually embrace Hinduism, where they celebrate Deepavali.
Yeah, but we have like the ethnic doesn't really give picture of the religion, because our ethnic, they are they have the freedom to choose their culture, their religion. So some of the Chinese are Christian, and some of the Indians also are Christian. So some of the Malays, not all Malays are Islam or Muslim. They are also, some of them are atheist. So but most of them that born in Malaysia, they are born in Islam. So yeah, so that's the system in Malaysia.
Yeah, that for the Malays, right?
Yeah, so when if you are, if your parents are Malays and you're born as in Islam automatically. Yeah, so we don't
Yep.
take really take shahada. So we don't go to any center, Islamic center, to take shahada. So if your parents are Islam and you are born as Islam.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, so astronomy in festivities. The phenomenon occurrences is reflected in the calendar, which the time of celebration is according to astronomical phenomena. Okay, and these astronomical phenomenon, especially when it comes to new moon or full moon, which is something that always occur, and it occurs where people can predict it. Okay, so they make it into calendar, which can be seen in each races. They have their own calendar, as well as religion. Okay, some races they have their own calendar, but some races it doesn't have. Okay, but I'm pretty sure religions they have their own calendars because they want to perform rituals or any act of worship, so they need calendar to determine the time when they can perform those rituals and the worshipping activities. Okay. All right. As for Idul Fitri and Idul Adha, I'm pretty sure our friends from Bangladesh is very familiar of it because I'm pretty sure all of us right now in the live is actually are Muslims. We are all Muslims, so we for the Idul Fitri and Idul Adha celebration, we follow the Islamic calendar, and also depends on moon sighting that indicates the new month of Shawwal and also Zulhijjah.
Yeah, so you can see the on the right side is our, like, the main food for our any whether it's Idul Fitri or Idul Adha. So that's our main food. We call it rendang. So rendang is like the main food for most of the people here in Malaysia. So if you come to Malaysia, you shall ask for rendang, because we got lots of like, the recipes here are very different. So some are spicy. So you got spices. You use spices. A lot of spices inside there. So yeah, so we always eat that. We call it ketupat. what kind of sticky rice, right? Sticky rice you put inside a leaf, yeah. So we eat that with that, the sticky rice. We call it ketupat, or nasi impit is rice pressured.
That's right.
Pressured rice. Pressured rice. I don't know what you call that. I don't know, nasi impit. Okay. Yeah, nasi impit. We call nasi impit. So yeah, you can see that the spices there, all the chili and the ginger. Uh, okay. So on the
Onion.
left, yeah, on the left, you can see the left there uh, is like how we celebrate. To make it happening, we have like that thing.
Fireworks. I mean, the
Yeah, like small mini
firecrackers.
fireworks.
And
Yeah.
also we buy new dresses, new clothings, to really celebrate, to give that mood of celebration during Idul Fitri. But Idul Adha, some people would buy new clothes, but the main event will be the sacrifice.
Kurban. The
Yes,
kurban.
kurban. Yes, correct. Alright, so next we have Chinese New Year. It is celebrated. It celebrates the beginning on a traditional lunisolar calendar, and also known as the Spring Festival. So the Chinese people, they also have their own calendar, which marks the and in case of Chinese New Year celebration, it marks the beginning of the traditional lunisolar calendar. So lunisolar calendar is actually calendar that refer to both Luna or the moon and also the sun. And this also celebrated as the spring festival. But since we are in the equator, we don't really experience the spring equinox. But it is still celebrated as a part of the Chinese people culture. And then we have Deepavali. It follows the Hindu lunar calendar that is celebrated on the moonless night in October or November. So as you can see here, the three main races in Malaysia, uh, we would celebrate those festivities in a happening way. So you can actually see it if you go to Malaysia. We have the holiday for it, and you can see people are celebrating it, buying new clothes. And when you go to the mall, you would listen. If you go during Idul Fitri, before Idul Fitri, you will hear the Idul Fitri song. And when you go during Chinese New Year, you will listen to Chinese song. And when you go during Deepavali, you would listen to Indian song.
So this Deepavali, they have this. You can see it on the right side. Is that there is a rice, colored rice. Uh, Not rice. Is yeah, rice, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's a colored rice. So they make
Kolam.
yeah, collage on the
Kolam.
floor. Yeah, kolam. You can
Yes,
kolam. So
kolam.
you can make a. It's a image of a peacock or flower. Uh, it symbolized the what, I'm not sure what column symbolize what, but yeah, but usually they have that. It's one of the biggest festival for the Indians.
These candles are called diya, I think.
Dia, yeah,
This, yeah.
candle. uh yeah, I think so.
Oh, I
I
mean,
think I think Avali.
this
I'm not
is.
sure it's Avali. It's Avali or Dia.
It's diya, as far I
Mm.
know. It's called diya in India.
Oh, cool. Great to know that. Thank you, Rohan. Alright, so and then we have Wesak celebration, which takes place at the time on the first full moon of the ancient lunar month of Vesakha. So, Buddhist people, those who embrace Buddhism, they also have their own calendar. Okay, and the month that which they celebrate this celebration called Vesak, is called Vesakha. The moon is the month is called Vesakha, and in our regular calendars, it is celebrated on May or early June.
Yeah, so this time many Buddhists will go to their local temple, and some might even stay there throughout the day or night of the full moon. So you can see, yeah. So these are the Malaysian festival. So we got lots of Malaysian festival this time.
Yep, especially around May and June, right?
Yeah, so during this Vesak, many will do good deeds from people of Buddha, and they take part in chanting and meditation to reflect on Buddhist teachings, and they bring offerings to the temple and share the food with people. So I think that's similar to like Raya, our Raya Aidilfitri and Adi Adha. So we bring food to people.
Okay,
Okay.
and the next celebration is Taipusam. I'm sorry, I forgot to change the picture here, but the right part of the picture is correct. Okay, it is
Yeah.
based on the full moon day in the month of Thai, January or February in Hindu calendar. Okay, Thai is not Thailand. It's actually name of the month in Hindu calendar. The month is called Thai, and it is in January or February in Hindu calendar. So we can see here a lot of people gather at uh the what we call it again. I forgot the name. Batu Caves. Yes,
Batu
it
Cave.
is the
Yeah, Batu Cave.
yeah Batu Caves in Malaysia. Okay, it is one of the most beautiful Hindu temple, right? Emma,
Yep.
it's very
One of the
colorful.
highest. Yeah. Yeah. I've been there. I've been there, and it took me like 10 minutes to hike up. The
Wow,
the,
and
the, the stairs. I think the stairs is like, I'm not sure how many stairs they have, but yeah, it took me 10 minutes to hike up there.
it is very colorful. When you go there,
Yes.
you're just amazed by how colorful and artistic that place is, which reflect
So
their kind of
so
religion
this
as well.
Taipusam, and the best thing is the Pusam is one comes from the name of a star. What was it again? Ashira? Is it Suryam?
Uh,
Pusham?
Pusha,
Pusha. Yeah,
Pusha,
Pusha. Is
Pusha.
the name for, yeah, Pusha. Yeah.
So
So
Thai is the name of the month. Pusam is the name of of a star, Pusha. So you can see the relevance of astronomy even in the names of this celebration. And next is astronomy in Islamic practices. Since Islam is one of the main religion in Malaysia, especially for Malays. So we're gonna talk about how astronomy is applied in this Islamic practices. Okay, in applying these Islamic practices, we have uh, an organization that take care of it. So everything is standardized, which is called Mufti. Okay, the Mufti will measure and make precise observation to provide these people, the Muslim people, guidance so that we can perform Islamic worship in standard, uh, in, a, in standardized version. Okay. So the role of Mufti in making this observation and measuring so that we can practice our religion is the first is to measure Qibla, and Qibla for the Muslims, for us to perform Islamic worship as we face the Kaaba. And also this Qibla is applied in mosque, cemetery, home, and also buildings. And number two is moon sighting observation, and it is to determine new month in Islamic calendar, and also for us to celebrate Idul Fitri, Idul Adha, and some other celebrations as well as the Prophet's birthday, Nuzul Quran, and so on. And number three is to observe the astronomical phenomenon. So in Malaysia, our Mufti not just measure and make observation for us to practice our religion, but also for astronomical awareness, so that the general public able to connect astronomical phenomenon with God's the mighty God's creation, they can be more grateful and they will be more aware about these occurrences. And it is usually organized as outreach event for the public to observe this astronomical phenomenon. And nowadays we are doing it online because of the pandemic, but still they have the effort in making sure the public in Malaysia are aware about the occurrences in the sky.
So in Malaysia, right, our mufti is divided to different department. So we have fatwa and Sharia and others, and we also have Falak. So Falak is under this mufti. So we also have NGOs, and also we have university that doing research on Falak, or in astronomy, regarding on like moon sighting or time, Paris time. So so they are collaborated together, so they work together in this research, yeah. And we also have one another organization, is agency, is under government. It is called Japan, Jabatan Ukur dan Pemetaan. They are the, you call that, mapping, the mapping mapping people, mapping agency. So they are not only mapping the earth, they also help in terms of they also help in moon sighting. Okay, I think we have we can stop here, Shaira. Maybe you can pass to BSRS.
Yeah,
We
sure.
can continue
Okay.
this one later because we already
All
passed
right.
10 minutes.
Yes. All right. So now it's the SRS turn to present about the application of astronomy in their culture. Take it away.
Yeah, so I will share your screen, right? The
Yeah.
one that you sent to me, right?
Yeah. You should share the
Okay, I will
screen.
share that one. There you go. Just let me know when to pass.
Okay, so astronomy and space progress in Bangladesh. First, we will talk about the astronomical progress in our country, like what is our progress in the astronomy field. So, go to the next page. Emma, go to the next slide, please. Yeah, so culture in Bangladesh, right? So we have divided our schedule. Like we will show our astronomical background first, then we will show our cultural background about astronomy. At first, let's see a video of our culture in our country. So the video is the next slide. Am I your mic is off?
I need to share it again because I didn't share the audio.
Okay, okay, okay.
Sorry, alright, share again, okay? Second screen.
Like in our culture, there are so many minorities, so many tribes in the rural areas, but in the urban areas, most of the people are Muslim.
Ya Allah, aku tak share screen ke?
So let's start with the culture of our
Feel the
country.
vibe of the longest beach. Learn the power of inner strength. It's Royal Bengal Tiger's territory. For dangerously sweet reward, learn how to collect honey. Unlearn. Give yourself the surprise. Yes, you always loved racing. Learn to race without wheels. Here, every home is a school of celebration. When the heart opens, you suddenly learn to accept the invitation of happiness in its fullest version. See how hope defeats all boundaries, and how meaning of inner silence revealed in words. Experience the spirit of freedom in the air. The father of nation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, liberator of Bangladesh, rests here. Silence. You will learn the true meaning of home here. Every alley has a story that embraces. Who else can tell you to love your language more? Feel the monsoon magic.
So the video. So
Feel the vibe of the longest beach. Learn the power
Yeah,
of
it's
inner
already
strength.
over. Yes.
yeah, it's already over.
Yeah, could you pause the video?
Can you pause the video?
It's royal.
Yeah, so go to the next slide. Like it was a foreigner visiting our country and engaging with the culture of our country. And please go to the next slide, Emma. And so, is it a next page? Yes. So first, let's talk about the Bangabandhu satellite. The Bangabandhu satellite is the first Bangladeshi geostationary communications and broadcasting satellite. It was named after the father of the nation of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. He's a father of the nation. It was actually manufactured by Thales Alenia Space and launched on 12 May 2018. It's the only satellite in our country which was launched 2 years ago. So currently, if you sever the astronomy in our country, the field astronomy, currently there is no university in Bangladesh having a department astronomy. But we have some universities which have aeronautical sectors. Like we have a university named Bangabandhu Space Aviation University. It's we can get a bachelor degree from about that aeronautical engineering from this university. And but if you want to study astronomy, you'll have to get a BSc degree in physics first from Dhaka University or SUST or other accredited universities in our country. Then you can shift to astronomy in master's level in foreign universities or numerous graduates of our country from Dhaka University are working with NASA. Honorable mentions are Mahmouda Sultana, Mahzebin Haq. Uh, these peoples are working with NASA, and there are many more who have graduated from our country universities and then are working in NASA in different jobs and research sectors. And if you are already involved in a whole lot of ECI stuffs, you can like science Olympiads, physics Olympiads, astronomy Olympiads, you can get a direct chance to go for higher studies in astronomy in foreign countries. Okay, so let's see the demo of Bangladesh Satellite 1. The next slide.
Before that, apa off mo
Yeah.
mute saya. Okay, so just want to ask, do you guys have involved with Olympiad before? In Bangladesh, do you involve with IOAA or IAO?
I think IAO. Like we are
I
involved
see.
with Olympiads.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Okay, because we also in Malaysia also we are involved in from 2014 for IAO,
Okay.
and we just recently involved with IOAA in 2014, and then IAO in I think 2016 17, and just
Okay.
because of the COVID, then we all have to stop.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see a demo of the Bangabandhu Satellite 1. It's a video of the launching.
Who? SpaceX eh?
Okay, let's go to the. Okay, so a university named BRAC, the students of BRAC have a lot of things done in astronomical field. Like BRAC Onesha was the first nano satellite built by the students of BRAC University in our country. The satellite was designed and built in conjunction with Kyushu Institution of Technology Bird One program, which has the goal of helping countries for their first satellites. And the students of BRAC University were the first who were successful while making nano satellites in our country. Like actually, we are most of the peoples in our country are not that much educated and don't get that much support to get educated. But these are some few sectors where our students can learn and have a great knowledge about astronomy. Like astronomy is really rare in our country. No one actually follows the astronomy part. And we can go to the next slide. Let's see.
We created our whole BSRS organization just to like preach about astronomy and
Astronomy,
space
right?
to the people of Bangladesh, because people of our country don't really give much importance to it.
Like here you can see the Independent University of Bangladesh students team wins the NASA Space Challenge. Like as you know, different challenges are done in NASA Space Challenge. Uh, I I think you have heard about NASA Space Challenge, and so students from independent university in our country were the winner in 2015. Then then in the next slide, we have also won the NASA Space F challenges. It was also won by our students from United University in our country. So these are the few people who actually work for the astronomy sector. Then we have some organizations also. We can go to the next slide. Like National Space Carnival. Every year, a National Space Carnival is organized by a group named Youth Entrepreneurs. They organize every year about this National Space Carnival. There are lots of segments in this carnival related to astronomy and space, like Olympiads and wall magazine showing project display, rocket making, and different things. They are one of the most famous organizations which actually organize this type of fest. Then the next slide. Let's see what we have. The Space Research and Remote Sensing Organization is called the SPARSO. The SPARSO is a multidisciplinary organization in Bangladesh. It was set up by Act of 1991, being entrusted with a legally structured function and responsibilities. It deals with research, study, and development activities in our country. It carries out research, works in national religion and regions and international priority fields of space, science, and technology, etc., and receiving satellites, imaginaries, and Earth observation data. SPARSO acts and function under the government of People Republic of Bangladesh. Is the organization which works under the government of People Republic of Bangladesh, guided by the direct instructors and guidelines of its board of directors. And as you mentioned earlier about the moon viewing, there is an Islamic Research Foundation which works for the moon viewing in our country all the time before the month of Ramadan, before Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha also. We can go to the next slide. So, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Novo Theatre. It's a theater in our country. This theater was famous for showing astronomical theaters, like different astronomical movies, visuals were played in this theater. It's the only astronomy-based theater in our country, and it's really famous, and people goes to it a lot. Then actually it was the astronomical background in our country, like we don't have that much of astronomical interest in our country, and for this reason, for only this reason, we have created this organization BSRS, as you know. And about the culture and astronomy in our country, it will be described by Alif Khan in the next part. So can we go to the next slide? So I think that was the astronomical background in our country. So Alif, you can handle from now
Yes,
about our
I will.
culture and astronomy. Thank you.
Actually, it's my turn now.
Okay, you can go for it.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is me, Ipti, the head of Human Resource Department. Today's topic is based on astronomy and horoscope. I'm gonna use my phone. Astronomy is a science that studies everything outside of the Earth's atmosphere, such as planets, stars, asteroids, galaxies, and properties and relationships of those planetary objects. Whereas astrology, on the other hand, is the belief that positioning of the stars and planets affect the way events occurs on Earth. From the ancient time, people are using astronomy to know their future. They believed stars, planets can tell what their future will be. And in some case, that also matches. Formally, astronomy, there are 12 zodiac signs which occupying 30 degree of planetary longitudinal. Uh, I think I'm not clear. Am I?
Yeah, you're clear.
Okay. Okay. From astronomical knowledges, astrologers are able to track the positions of sun, moon, planets to understand zodiac signs more deeply. That means whoever born in those zodiac signs will have same future with same fortune or misfortune. But in reality, there are 13 zodiac signs. The Malino dynasty, about 2000 years ago, knew that there are 13 signs. In order to match that zodiac signs with months, they vanished one zodiac sign. But apparently, the viral story goes NASA has discovered that there are 13 zodiac signs, not 12. So the other 12 zodiac signs are bound to shift from their dates to make room. Nowadays, we identify horoscope by months and dates, which were written almost 2000 years ago. Like a boy who was born on 27th January, that means his horoscope is accurate. But by watching the position of stars, moons in 2021, his zodiac sign is Capricorn. Some predictions claim that astronomy is science, and there is a mechanism behind it. Then there was an experiment done to check if there is any reality in it. They took 20 different newspapers on the same date. In newspaper of Australia, an astrologer says Aquarius will be happy this week. Whereas on the other hand, Nigerian's newspaper says Aquarius will suffer this week. After a lot of experiment, it was proved that there is no scientific validity about those moons or sun can tell our futures. So whoever says horoscopes are reality, they are just getting fooled by astrologers. Sorry, I couldn't make the presentation properly. I just collect the information from different database.
All right. Thank you
Thank
very much, Dee.
um,
Nice to hear
Anything
your
from
voice.
Alif? You want to say anything?
Uh,
I
Before me,
think you
would
can
then,
present your presentation. You can end your presentation, then Alif can start.
yeah, would you like to continue your presentation or should I go with mine?
We can continue yours. We can end ours later.
Okay.
Okay.
So, as we heard about your country's backgrounds and culture, so let's talk about Bangladesh's culture. Uh, our country was ruled by various different rulers through the times, through all ancient times. This allowed us to trade and interact with various different countries and various different the ethnicities and religion of people. They often traveled here and settled here, so that caused our country to be a multiracial country. So we also, like you, have many different races, ethnicities, religion, and the mindset of people in our country. So we are multicultural. Though our country is mostly a Muslim country because most of our population is Muslim, and we are also a developing country. So we have a vast amount of rural areas, and these rural areas have a lot of stigmas and superstitions on astrology and astronomy. As Iti has already described about astrology, so I'll just go about astronomy. People of our rural areas have a lot of weird stigmas and superstitions that certain things happen because of certain random imaginary things. Like when a solar eclipse happens, a good portion of our population used to think like when an eclipse happened, the sun would eat the moon, or the sun would eat the earth. But we all know like eclipse happens when the earth, moon, and the sun lines up in a linear pattern and causes the shadow of the moon to fall on earth. That's the only actual reason for an eclipse to happen. But we believed otherwise. As most of our country are all Muslim, as I said, we use the lunar calendar to follow all of our dates, to find all the dates and timings for all of our religious activities in Muslim religion, Islam. Like we use the lunar calendar, the cycle of moon, to find out what lunar day it is. Our main religious functions, the Eids, Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr, are all based on the lunar calendar, and we decide when these Eids are going to be based on the calendar. We have various other superstitions like we should eat less during eclipses, and some say like see some our luck is all dependent on whatever month we are born in, or things like that. So that's probably everything I've got to say.
Do you guys still do you still have people that still do the rituals during the eclipse?
No, because of modernization and like vast spread of like development in our country, most of the people in our country, like at least, don't believe in these superstitions anymore. There are a small amount of people, but most of people don't. Very insignificant amount of people may follow these rituals. I don't really know for sure.
uh, do you know how many populations in Bangladesh? Let me
Sorry?
google that. It's okay, it's okay.
No, no, sorry, I didn't hear what you
16
said.
crore. 16 crore. It's 16 crore.
Oh, our population. Oh, 16 crore.
I see. All right. Probably we can finish our sharing, Shara.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alif, FP, and Wuhan. So we will continue ours. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting that they already shared about the science part and astronomy and also astrology. So here comes from Malaysia.
First. So now we'll be talking about the astronomy among indigenous people, which will be explained by Emma. So, the three main
Yeah.
indigenous of Peninsular Malaysia.
So like I said, Malaysia has two parts. One is in the mainland, connected to Thailand and above of Singapore and just right beside Indonesia. And we also have an island we call Borneo, shared with Brunei and Indonesia. So this the bit that we are saying we are looking at now is three main indigenous is from the peninsula. Okay, so they are Proto-Malays, Negrito, and also Sonoy. So Negrito has the features of dark skin and hazel eyes, brown eyes, and curly hairs. Malays that looks like me. I'm Malay. Shaira's a Malay. So we are part of Proto-Malays. We are not Proto-Malays, but we are the descendant of them. So we are. I think because of uh, this Malaysia is a country that is a pathway of sailors and trading. So we have Chinese come here, we have Mongolians, we have the Javanese, Thailands, the Thais people, and the Indians, the British people. So we have a lot of people that comes to Malaysia, to Malay, we call the Malaya, and we got mixed. Okay, so we are descendants of the Proto Malay, and also Senoi. Okay, and next, Sarah. Oh yeah, next is the this one. So in Malaysia, most of the indigenous people, before this, like I said, the ancient people, they are the original people in Malaya. So they use the knowledge of the celestial to for their calendar, for their daily life. For example, like their crops, or to find direction. So most of the things that they see is their is the things that they use. Okay, for example, like you're saying right now is Pleiades, or in Japanese called Subaru, or the mother, what we call that, the, for example, like this, we call the Malayonesia. The Malayonesia, we call this Kritika, Karatika, Kritika. So, but in Borneo, they call it something else. But this is like in Peninsula. But in Borneo, they call it something else. Like the Karazan Dusun, they call it Dusun. They call it Misompuru. So they use this for the coast. These are most used for the coastal people, the people that at the right beside of the beach, or they use as for sailing, because in Malaysia usually it's very to see the clear sky. Probability to see clear sky is higher chances at the coastal area rather in the inner part of the country, because we got lots of mountain ranges and it collects clouds. Okay, we have fogs and clouds. So the coastal area are the best part, the best area to see stars. So most of the knowledge and most of the people that use stars are people at the coastal area. So they use this, they call it Kritika or Kartika, this star. So they use this as a guidance for them. So when they see this rises during the sunset or after sunset, they see this during after sunset, that means it's gonna be the water of the ocean will be rough, and it's gonna be raining. So it's their, what do you call that,
Sign.
like, yeah, a sign for them to say it's not good for them to go out. Okay, so this is one of the examples. But nowadays the knowledge is not being used, because the people that from they are using this one, they are moved, or they are migrated, they are forcibly moved somewhere else, to the inner part of the country or inner part of the state. So yeah, so they don't use this anymore. So this is the one of the name. Okay, next. So another one is called Milky Way. We know our star, our galaxy, the galaxy of Milky Way. So in Malaysia, we have lots of places that can see the Milky Way. They are dark sky. So the Milky Way, some of the people here, the indigenous, the people like the Temuan in Hulu Langat, Selangor. So they use, they use the they use the ladies. So this one they call Bintang Temabo or Bintang Labo. So they call it Milky Way. The ancient people, the indigenous people call it Temabo, because you can see like Bintang Terabo. Temabo or tabo is like tabo bintang terabu kan, so scattered or dispersed, so this is what they call it. Yep. Okay, so next. So yeah, so also this one, the Milky Way, is also the signature of musim, we call it durian season. Here we have durian season. In Malaysia we have durian season. So it's one of the known season in Malaysia. We not only have raining and also like hot season, we also have durian season. So during this durian season, there's a lot of durian trees gonna have we're gonna like what we're gonna um yeah, so we have like durian fiesta, so everyone we keep buying durians, or yeah, so we have like this season of durian. So yeah, this is one of the you call it like the signature of it. Okay, so next. So this is the one that I showed yesterday also. Like in Dusun, they call it the IAU, under IAU constellation, they call it Orion. Most of the Melanesia we call it Balatik, Valatik, or Belate. So the Malays call it Belante. So this one also considered as a constellation that, like I said yesterday, for the Borneo people, they look at it as the trap, but also in the peninsula also look it as a trap. But some of part of Malaysia, they look it as a sampan. What you call sampan? A boat, a small boat. So you can see the three star in middle. That's the wooden divider middle of the sampan of the small boat. And then you can see actually this Orion has a one star in above Betelgeuse. So that's the tip of the boat and it goes down. So yeah, okay. So yeah, so that's the indigenous star names, or the folklore, star lore, not folklore, but the practical of astronomy in their daily life. And we also have, I would like to share, we don't have no more, right? Okay, I would like to share our as astronomical observatory in Malaysia. So here's Malaysia. So we have this is the peninsular, and this is the island. Okay, and we have more than 9 government observatory, and we also more than, I think, got lots of NGOs, non-government organization observatory, and also we have personal observatory. So the one that you see here are, most of them are from government, but this is the one that I'm using right now, Sabah Stargazer Observatory. So you can see this is the picture. Yeah, so here's our small observatory. So you can see the Milky Way here. Yeah, so this is the one of the Lukman is here. So one of the telescope here in the one that we are using. So the biggest observatory there's two. One is in Negeri Sembilan, Teluk Kamang Observatory, and one is the LNO, Langkawi National Observatory. They have 24-inch telescope. So the one that is registered under International Observatory is LNO. So because it has a lot of research there. Okay. So also we do have three planetarium in Malaysia. So we have one in Kuala Lumpur, one in Malacca, and we also one in Sarawak. So they have the domes, and they used to show all the videos of planetary videos or astronomical videos. And Malaysia has one astronaut, and he's a medical doctor. We have the astronaut program in 2009. We followed with NASA, so they launched with the Russian. We also have under the Ministry of Science, we have this we call MISA, Ministry of not ministry, sorry. MISA is Malaysian Space Agency. Yeah, sorry. This is MISA. So this is our space agency. So our space agency mostly doing research on satellites. So we do have, I think we have three satellites launched. It's for our communication. Okay. uh, yeah, so he's inside. Okay. Wing. This is just like this is water tank. Okay, not the rocket. We don't have rocket here in Malaysia. Yeah, we have Razak side. What do you have, Razak side? Other than Razak side,
Yongsan.
we have three.
Yongsan, right?
Yeah, yeah. Another one is some. The first one, we have three. Most of we have three. So yeah. So they are mostly doing on the. They do have like the space program. No, sorry. The astronaut program lasted 2009, and we are coming up another astronaut program, but we don't know when. Yeah, Miyasa. Thank you, Zaid. Miyasa, Razak side. Yes, Miyasa. Okay. So yes, from Abdul Rahman. Can you tell us something about space program in Malaysia? How much budget do the government allocate to your space agency, and how serious are they in terms of competing collaboration with other space programs with other nations with Southeast Asia? Uh, I'm not sure about collaborating though, but what I know is they are serious in terms of we are now going to have this space policy where if there's any no one can launch any rocket to space from Malaysia. Like if you have whether you have like personal rocket or maybe like a small rocket, you can't simply launch it. So we still have not implement, but it's now in the parliament. It's still being discussed. Okay, and if there's any meteorite in your backyard, you can't simply take it. You have to send it to the Malaysian Space Agency for them to recognize it first, to learn about it first. Yeah, so we have procedures. Okay, and then uh, in terms of space program, we yeah, like I said just now, the Malaysian Space Agency are planning to have another astronaut program again. I'm not sure when, but very recent, because of the COVID now, because of the pandemic. I think we are back date now. Okay. So we do have another agency called the Planetarium Negara, our national planetarium. So they are in terms of they are in charge of most of the astronomical program. Okay, so most of the space program are from ministry, from Malaysian Space Center, Malaysian Space Agency. Okay, I'm not sure about collaborating, but yeah, we need to ask them, because I Darkscan Malaysia, me personally, I have been collaborating with them for outreach purpose, but not for space program. But I think, yeah, they are really keen on doing space program and collaborating. Yeah, they did collab with, what do you call, there's one company that's they are planning to do, they're planning to do space program. The company called Serba Dynamic. Yeah, is based in Sarawak. Sarawak is quite big, so like if I show you here, so this is state. Sorry, the state here called Sarawak. Serba Dynamic is based there, and they collab with our Malaysian Space Agency for space program. So I'm not sure. Yet. They just launched it last year. Okay, but I'm not sure. But outside Malaysia. Okay, so most of the observatories here are to observe the moon sighting. Okay, for our Islamic calendar. So you can see the compact Falak Al-Khwarizmi. Here Balachap Uniza. We have in Penang. We have, nope, not this one.
And most of them located near the coast.
Yeah, yeah. Lim Chung, except for Lim Chung Ket, this is personal. Lim Chung Ket Observatory is in Pulau Betong. Most of the student from USM will go here. Where's the, I forgot the name. Pusat Falak Shetahe. Pusat Falak Shetahe is one observatory in Penang to watch the for moon crescent sighting. Yeah, so probably that's. Is there any question anymore? I think that's all from me.
Yeah, that's all from me
I
too.
just, all right.
Thanks, Emma, for that lovely introduction. I guess you
Yeah,
have
sure.
a
Rahman, come
comment.
here. Yeah, so Abdul Rahman wants to come here to visit the observatories and space agency. Yeah, sure, but I'm not sure about the space agency though because they are not allowed. They don't allow public to come in. It's for their research only.
Inshallah.
Yeah, we
Same with Bangladesh, inshallah. Inshallah, sir.
inshallah. Yeah, once the COVID goes, because of this COVID, so we can't
Once the
really.
COVID ends, we can
Yeah.
visit each other's country.
Yes, yes, we shall. And of course, we love to see your dark sky, right?
Yeah,
All right,
Okay.
so I guess that's the end of it, right?
Yeah, we have
yeah,
finished. Oh my god,
Yeah,
it has
really.
been 1 hour.
Yes, we conducted this more than an hour. So, thank you very much, Ruhan, Alif, and also FT from Bangladesh Space Research Society, and also I'm very grateful today. Me and Emma are very grateful to share our culture and astronomy from Malaysia, and also very happy to listen from your side of astronomical advancement and also your culture. It's great, and I'm pretty sure it is a beneficial, fruitful sharing for tonight for our audiences to get to know more about both countries. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for
Actually,
tuning
we are
in
very
to
grateful
our live.
to know about your culture and astronomy. Like, I really like your culture. It will be
Thank
a
you.
pleasure to
We have
visit
a
your
lot of
country and
them.
yeah, it will be
Even
a pleasure to visit
we
your country and know more about it.
Yeah,
we've
sure,
been
inshallah.
studying about it. A lot
Inshallah.
of races and ethnicities in Malaysia, and it's not enough time to learn about it. Yep. All right. Thank you very much for the viewers. So this is the last program for this week of Unveiling the Universe, and we are anticipating to see all of you in our next week's
We will be
program.
back next week.
Yes,
yep.
unveiling the universe classes and also programs. So next week we have uh, astrobiology class,
Astrobiology
art,
class.
connecting us to the cosmos, and also the closing program, which is talking to the moon. So I really hope to see all of you, more of you, in the class and also programs for next week. All right. All right. Thank you,
Inshallah.
Kanti. Thank you, Abdul
Thank you for
Rahman.
staying tuned. Thank you
Yes.
guys who stayed tuned from the beginning to the end. Thank you guys.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
See you
Right.
next
Thank
week.
you Alif. Thank you Rohan. Thank you
It
Epting.
was
I know
really
you
fun.
listening. Yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah,
I
It's
should.
great.
We should have more time, but yeah, next time.
yep. That's
Next
all
time,
for today.
inshallah.
Next week.
Inshallah. Alright, thank you. See you guys.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
See you
See you. Bye
guys.
bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye.
Bye.
Allah Hafiz.